First thing we need to do is we're going to take the log of both sides. Okay? This is how logarithmic differentiation works. So we have natural log of f of x, okay, equals natural log of this whole side, x times x plus 1 cubed over 3x minus 1 squared. Okay? So I'll put this down. So our first step is we need to take ln of both sides. So that's what we did right here. We took the natural log of both of the sides. Now over on this side, right, we can't simplify here anymore. But on this side, we need to simplify as much as possible. Okay? So what do you know if I have a quotient here inside natural log? How can I rewrite that?
ln of the top quotient.
Mm-hmm.
Like minus ln of the bottom quotient.
Right, so ln of the numerator minus ln of the denominator.
Yeah.
So then, what I want to do is I need to simplify these guys down as much as possible. So how could I simplify this guy?
Distribute the x through, or cube it. Or
We don't want to cube it. Think about if I have, so inside now I have one thing multiplied by another thing inside natural log. So what do I want to do here? How's a way I can use natural log to rewrite it?
Take the derivative. No, I don't know.
So remember what we have, ln of xy.
Oh, it's going to be ln x. So you're going to get ln x plus ln x plus 1 cubed.
ln, right, minus ln 3x minus 1
Squared.
squared. Okay? Back over here, we see these exponents. What can I do with those exponents?
Put them in front.
Right, yep. So we're going to write it as ln x
plus 3 ln x plus 1 or something like that.
Yep, ln x plus 1 minus,
You made me nervous there when you paused.
I'm sorry, I was blanking out for a second.
I was like, oh, I'm wrong.
No, you're good. Minus, and
2
then
ln
2 ln 3x minus 1. Okay, so let me just write in this step right here. This is equal to ln of f of x. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at your book right here, the equation that we have, they give us this equation that the derivative of natural log of f of x equals f prime of x over f of x.
Right.
Because we're trying to take this guy's derivative. So first thing we're going to do is differentiate this. So we're going to take natural log of f of x prime. Okay? We want to differentiate that. Well, if I'm going to differentiate that, what do I do to each of these terms?
Differentiate each of the terms.
Yeah. So what's this derivative of the first term?
1 over x.
1 over x. What's the derivative of the second term?
1 over 3 ln.
So the 3
over x.
3 over, what are we taking
Oh,
the
3 over
ln
x
of?
plus 1.
Yep, 3 over x plus 1.
And then you're going to have 2 over 3x minus 1.
So then minus 2 over 3x minus 1. But what about this guy right here, once I'm in the bottom? You have to think about taking the derivative of each of those guys. Derivative of that's 1, derivative of that's 1, derivative of that is
3.
Is going to be 3. So then we have to multiply that by 3.
Ugh.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now this is where that equation comes in. That tells us that the derivative of the natural log of a function is equal to the derivative of the function, so f prime over f of x. Alright? So right now I can basically substitute this equation right here by rewriting it as f prime of x divided by f of x equals, okay, 1 over x plus 3 over x plus 1 minus 6 over 3x minus 1. Okay?
Yep.
So then the last thing we have to do is, are you following so far? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing we want to do is get f prime of x alone. So what do I have to do to get f prime of x alone?
I don't know.
Well, what's f prime of x over?
F of x.
F of x.
So you have to get the denominator to all be the same?
Well, we have to get the denominator to the other side. So how do I get this denominator to the other side?
Multiply it?
Yeah, I multiply both sides by the denominator,
Oh,
which is
okay.
f of x. So that tells me then that f prime of x equals 1 over x times f of x,
Okay.
right? And we're almost done. The last thing you'd have to do is then rewrite f of x in each of these back with that, because we already know what f of x is. So you would just substitute f of x, which is this guy right here,
That entire equation?
back
into each
in
of those?
for f of x. The other way, so the other way you could write
I'm
it.
not doing that. That's way too much writing.
Okay. The other way, well, the other way you could write it, since this occurs in each of them, you could technically factor it out of there, and just write it like this, where it's just going to be, you only have to write it once, x times x plus 1 cubed over 3x minus 1 squared, and then that whole thing multiplied by the 1 over x plus 3 over x plus 1 minus the 6 over 3x minus 1.
Hell.
So that's going to be the final answer. Okay?